Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to your February reset. So today is your day 4 and we're going to be focusing on the hips. So it's all about giving some care and some love to your hips, helping them to open but also helping with daily mobility really. So we will make a start. We will come to the top of the mat, standing in our Tadasana. So we'll come to Tadasana. Think about your pelvis being tucked in. Roll the shoulders back. Here you want to start to bring the right knee up in front of you. So flex into the right foot. Bring your left hand to your left hip and hold on to your right knee. So here you're balancing. So focus your gaze, focus your dristi on something that's not moving, like a spot on the wall. From here, we're going to hold on to the left hip, keep it where it is. Just start to bring the right knee out to the side. So keep your shoulders relaxed. Just think about pulling the right hip out. Keep breathing. And gently start to bring the right knee back in. Lift your arms up. And then we're going to step back with that right foot to a high lunge and then a low lunge. So drop the right knee down. From here, untuck the right toes and check in with the front knee. Make sure you've got a 90 degree. Reach the arms up, relax the shoulders. Take an inhale here, push down even further. And then exhale, bring your hands inside the left foot. So heel toe the left foot out slightly. So we're setting up for our lizard. You may need to straighten your right leg back even further. Start to shake the hips a little bit, so sway from side to side, starting to move into your hips, waking them up a little bit. And if you're happy here, then stay here. Or if you want to get a bit more height, pop your hands on blocks. But if you want to go further, then just bring your forearms down onto the mat. So your hands are nice and flat, your shoulders are relaxed. And just keep thinking about pushing down into the hips, opening them up. Keep breathing. And then we're going to gently start to come back up onto the hands if you're not there already. We're going to bring the right hand to the right side of the mat and heel toe the left foot all the way to the right side. So use your hands to support you. And then we're going to sink down into our pigeon. So with pigeon, you may need to bring the left foot a little bit closer towards the right hip, just so you can square your right hip down towards the mat. So just find what's good for you, and if your hip is lifted, then pop either a blanket, a pillow, or a block underneath it, just for that support. Take a breath here with your hands on the mat. And then exhale, start to walk the hands down so you're creating a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead down onto the hands and just think about that squaring of the hips. Keep pulling the right hip down towards the mat, really opening up in your left, especially outer hip. Perfect. Gently start to come back up onto the hands. And from here, if you've got a block underneath your left hip, then just remove that now. And we're going to drop the left hip down. Swing the right leg all the way around. So from here, we're going to go into our Gomukhasana, which is a bit of a tangled leg pose. I think it's called shoelace in English, actually. So we have an option here to keep the leg straight, the left leg straight like this, and just pull the right foot around to the left hip, having your knee on top of the other one. If you want to go for a full shoelace pose, then bring the left foot towards the right hip. So you're all tangled up with the legs. Just try to make sure you're flexing in the feet. And if you want to go deeper, then open the legs out further. If you want to go less deep, then pull them in a little bit closer. And just aim to have the knee on top of the other knee. So we'll sit here just for a moment. It's quite intense. Take another breath. And then gently start to lean back. And we're going to go straight into our figure 4 pose. So we're going to have the sole of the left foot on the mat. Bring your right ankle underneath the knee. So from here, your hands are behind. Just lift your chest up towards the leg and push your right knee towards the front of the mat. Keep breathing. And if you can't quite feel this stretch, then maybe lift up even further. So if this figure of 4 stretch is enough for you, then stay here just enjoying it and savoring up the feeling. If you want to go a little bit further, then start to heel toe the left foot towards the right of the mat. Lift that right foot onto the knee. So your left leg is going to be flat on the mat and your right ankle is on top of the left knee. When you lower down in the shins, you're coming to your fire log position, or I think it's full pigeon actually. And you want to have your left foot directly underneath the right knee. So if you're up here, then just think about going back to figure 4. If you're just a little bit closer or a little bit further into it like I am, just lift the chest up and push the right knee down. So if you feel the stretch, then you don't need to go any further. Just keep enjoying the stretch. Don't force it. And then we'll gently start to unravel the legs. Bring the feet mat distance and start to windscreen wipe the knees. So drop both knees down to one side and then all the way over to the other side. So this is a good way just to release tension from the hips, especially after doing such intense poses like the previous 2 were. Perfect. Now we'll start to lift up towards our yogi squat. Hands come to heart center, elbows push the knees out. And we won't stay here for too long. We'll just take a breath here, lifting out of the hips. Then we'll drop the hands down to the mat. Start to lift the hips up. Heel toe the feet in. Bend into the knees and inhale all the way back up. Perfect. So from here, we'll go to the other side. Start to bring the left knee up. Hold onto the left knee with the left hand. Right hand comes to right hip. Start to pull the left knee out to the side. Try to use your right hand just to keep that right hip where it is. Perfect. Focus your gaze. And then gently start to bring that left knee back in. Lift the arms up. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we'll step back towards the back of the mat through high lunge and then drop the left knee. Untuck the toes, come towards your lunge, your low lunge position, arms reaching upwards, shoulders relaxed. Maybe lower down even further. Perfect. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, just drop the hands inside of your right foot. Heel toe the right foot towards the right side of the mat. And we're setting up for our lizard again. So again, take any movements that feel good. If you did something on one side, then maybe try and do it on the other side too. Just keep it nice and even. And you can stay here on your hands, or you can start to go down towards your forearms. Perfect. So keep swaying and keep thinking about your shoulders being nice and relaxed. You're extending your spine and you're just really stretching into those legs, stretching into the hip. Perfect. Start to come back up onto the hands. And then from here, we're going to heel toe the right foot all the way over to the left side of the mat this time. We're going to drop the shin down on towards the mat and we'll set up for our pigeon. So some people manage to get their shin directly in line with the short edge. That's just not possible for me, and it's not possible for a lot of people. So just concentrate on squaring the hips and pull the right foot in further if you need to. Use any blocks or any props that you want to here, just under that right hip. We'll take an inhale. And then exhale, start to walk the hands down, again creating that pillow with your hands. Rest the forehead down onto the hands and keep thinking about pushing the left hip down towards the mat. Keep breathing. And then we can gently start to peel ourselves back off of the mat. Drop the right hip down, so we're setting up for our shoelace again. So bring the left foot all the way round. And again, you can either have your right leg straight and just wind that left leg around towards the left foot towards the right hip, or we can go for a full Gomukhana with the hips down, both feet, or the opposite feet to opposite hips, knee on top of the other knee. So we'll sit here for a moment, just really stretching into the hips, stretching the hips. Enjoying the feeling. And then we'll start to lean back as we unravel the legs. And this time we're going to have the sole of the right foot on the mat. Bring the left ankle just below the right knee. So from here, hands behind the back, pushing the chest open, and the left knee is pushing towards the front of the mat. And if you need to go a little bit deeper, then just bring your hands a bit closer and push yourself up even further, sit even taller. The main thing here is that you think about that left knee pushing towards the front of the mat. Perfect. If you want to go a little bit further, then start to heel toe the right foot towards just underneath the left knee. And we'll set up for that fire log position. So again, try to make sure that your right foot is directly underneath the left knee. And if you do feel like this is a bit too much for you, then just stay in your figure 4 position. So take a couple of breaths here, just really opening up in the hips. Perfect, then we'll start to unravel the legs. Again, bring the feet mat distance and we'll windscreen wipe the legs. So drop both knees down to one side, drop both down to the other. Do a couple more of these. And then we'll come back through center. We're just going to straighten the legs and just take a slight counter of all that hip opening and just have our legs straight, the hips straight, flex into the feet, and we'll sit tall. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we're just going to walk the hands down as far as they go. Don't worry if they don't reach your feet. The main thing is that you have a nice extended spine. Take an inhale. And then exhale, pull down a little bit further. Inhale, start to walk the hands back up. And cross the legs. So we're coming to the top of the mat in a comfortable seated position. Close the eyes, bring the hands to the knees. Start taking some breaths, start slowing down the heart rate. Start sending some air and some oxygen to those hips. Take a moment to come back to your intention. So what was it that guided you through the practice? Why did you step on the mat today? Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your forehead down towards your hands. Namaste. So there we go, lovelies. That is your day 4 of the February reset, and I'll see you tomorrow for your day 5, and I cannot wait. Thank you.